Ladies and gentlemen, aviation enthusiasts and curious minds alike, welcome to the thrilling mini-series that will take you soaring through the skies called What Makes This Plane Great? In this episode, I suppose it's more what makes these planes great, as we are going to look at a few Russian piston single-engine fighters that are all made by Lavochkin. These aircraft are the LA-5, LA-7, LA-9 and LA-11. Now, you can't talk about the Lavochkin LA-7 without talking about its older brother, the LA-5. The LA-5 had a wooden airframe, and the LA-5, especially the LA-5N variant, was one of, if not the first, Russian aircraft that could really challenge the Messerschmitt Bf 109 and Focke-Wulf FW190. And the fact it could provide a worthy opponent to these aircraft leads to the great fact that it helped turn the tide of the war in the Eastern Front. So, with that in mind, the great thing about the LA-7 is that it is basically an upgraded and more refined version of the LA-5N. Compared to the LA-5N, the LA-7 was faster and more manoeuvrable. It was a better aircraft to land, and some even had an extra third 20mm cannon. The LA-7 also had a lighter airframe than the LA-5 due to replacing wooden structures with metal structures, and with these points in mind, the LA-7 could match both the Messerschmitt Bf 109 and Focke-Wulf FW190, especially at lower altitudes, and they even scored the odd Messerschmitt Me262 kill. Of course, another great thing about the LA-7 is that they were also used to escort Soviet attack aircraft like the Ilyushin IL-2, transport aircraft and bombers, and they even performed their own ground attack and bombing missions. The LA-7 would continue to stay in service after the Second World War was over, serving both Soviet and Czechoslovakian air forces, and they saw action in the Korean War. With post-war service and the Korean War in mind, another great thing about the LA-7 is that from one of Russia's best fighters of World War II is that we've got the later built and developed LA-9 and LA-11. Both LA-9 and LA-11 served different air forces from the mid to late 1940s right up until the 1960s, and both types also served in the Korean War, scoring kills against different American piston engine aircraft and even the odd jet kill. And I do talk about this in a long video I've done about piston engine aircraft in the Korean War. The LA-9 was a great performing aircraft which had a top speed of 430 miles per hour, a lighter and more refined all-metal airframe, and four 20 or 23mm cannons, while the LA-11 was a slower and heavier aircraft with only three 23mm cannons. It had a better range and longer service history. And that's it for this thrilling journey through the skies. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my aviation content, etc. Check out the two videos at the end and the long video I've done about piston engine fighters in the Korean War. Or you could check out my CD reviews or playlist I've created. Cheers.